Hi everyone! Childhood is an amazing and eventful time we all usually remember with nostalgia. Kids don't have to worry about adult problems and responsibilities. Their life is all about constant adventures and exciting discoveries. Often we do not appreciate it enough, and we really miss this time when we grow up. However, we have to admit that many people have done silly things in childhood. For example, kids often put their lives at risk by climbing trees and garages, or disobey their parents and play in places one should stay away from. Some children go one step further. After watching movies about brilliant criminals, they can even commit crimes. Today, we'll tell you some stories about children who were caught on camera while doing illegal things, in a rather awkward and silly manner. Let's get it on! Not all children are allowed to have pets. The family might not want to clean up after a cat, or be too lazy to walk the dog early in the morning. Often in such families, kids have to take care of turtles or hamsters throughout their childhood while secretly dreaming of a real pet. It seems that this kid was not born in a pet-friendly family, and when he got desperate for a fluffy companion, he decided to resort to extreme measures. The 14-year-old teenager was captured by a surveillance camera installed near the front door of the house of one of his victims. The video shows the kid climbing onto the porch, calmly taking the cat and carrying it with him. After the pet owner contacted the local Vancouver police station, it turned out this was not the first time this kid stole someone's pet. He's been doing it for a while. When questioned by the police, the teenager said that he soon released the cat and knew nothing about its whereabouts. This angered not only the owners of the animal, but also the entire neighborhood. Residents even decided to organize a general search for the missing pet, promising a reward of more than $3,500 Canadian dollars to whoever finds it. Fortunately, soon a cat nicknamed Jack was spotted by some of the locals, and the thief had to have a serious talk with the police, because in Canada, pets are considered private property. This little kid did not seem to want any trouble when he decided to ride his toy car on the front lawn, but at some point, something went wrong. Suddenly, the boy noticed a parcel from Amazon on the doorstep of his neighbor's house, and his curiosity got the best of him. He got out of his mini car and went straight to the package. He failed to pick it up from the first attempt. The boy loaded the stolen package into the cargo compartment of his car and drove home to see what's inside. His joy was so great, he decided to share it with his mother. She, of course, was not so happy about this. So a few minutes later, the boy had to get back to the house and put the parcel back in its rightful place. Imagine the surprise of the neighbors when they saw this on the surveillance camera recordings. We've all been in a situation when we decide not to buy popcorn in the cinema, and we bitterly regret it 10 minutes into the movie. Sometimes we eat the entire popcorn even before the movie starts. In this situation, friends are there to help because you can steal some popcorn from them.
No! He's a Mars!
Well, if the person next to you is very famous, this will hardly go unnoticed, at least because paparazzi are following his every step. However, this did not stop Emily. A few years ago, she and her mother were attending a sporting event arranged for wounded and sick military personnel. The person sitting next to Emily was none other than the former British Prince Harry. But Emily was not shy. While the member of the royal family was carried away by friendly conversation, she decided to steal some popcorn from him. The funny thing is that at first, Harry did not even notice this. After a while, when he finally saw what was happening right under his nose, Harry began to make funny faces and play with her. The girl, however, quickly got tired of it and she decided to keep watching the game. Halloween is an important time for kids in many countries, especially in the USA.
Hey, this is awesome. Oh, I got king-size candies for you guys.
Happy Halloween!
All right, bye, guys.
They begin to prepare for this holiday a few weeks in advance. They need to come up with a costume, decorate the house, buy treats, and make plans for the evening. With all this fuss, you can easily forget about the main symbol of this holiday, a pumpkin. Apparently, this is exactly what happened to the kid in the video. His innocent crime was captured on a surveillance camera on one of the neighboring houses. The boy of about 8 years old carefully climbed up to the porch, examined the pumpkins, chose the one he liked most, and stuffed it into his backpack without any hesitation. And then he went home. It's hard to be angry with him, but we hope he didn't do anything like that anymore. And this little kid was caught in a store red-handed. The security camera filmed him stealing juice and some other cheap stuff. It might seem harmless at first glance, but we all know such habits shouldn't be tolerated. That's why the cashier decided to treat the little shoplifter as a real criminal and teach him a lesson.
All right, but I'm still telling your dad.
No, my God, please.
I'm calling the cops too.
No.
You want to go to jail?
Well, we can clearly see in the video that the boy is truly sorry, so after a serious talk and a whole lot of apologies, the cashier let him go. However, the video got several million views, so the boy must have gotten a proper scolding from his dad anyway. Here is another heartbreaking story about the regret of an unsuccessful thief. It was filmed by the boy's uncle. The whole thing happened because the boy wanted to steal a few small bills from his mom's purse and spend them as his pocket money. As you can see, being caught in the act made him panic as well.
You gonna steal again?
No, I'm not.
So I shouldn't call the cops?
No.
So you're not gonna steal again?
No.
After acting tough with the boy, the strict uncle explained to him why taking his mom's money without asking was bad, because she was working so hard to give him a better life. It all ended well, and hopefully, the little thief learned his lesson. Here's what happens when little boys play racing games for days on end and learn how cars work since early childhood. At some point, they might get behind the wheel and drive off to buy some candy. And that's not a joke, but a real story. One morning, a 4-year-old boy called Sebastian took his granddad's keys to the Hyundai Santa Fe, got behind the wheel, and headed to the closest gas station. But don't think his little trip ended quickly. Just look how far he had traveled before people spotted something was wrong. According to the witnesses, he was moving at 20 kilometers per hour. But this doesn't make his driving skills any less impressive. All in all, he drove for about 2.5 kilometers. But how did he manage to pull it off? Sebastian's relatives say he has always been an extremely curious boy.
If it's where the gas would, what's that pop over there?
According to them, he's always watching the people around him and memorizing what they are doing. His phenomenal memory is probably the reason why he managed to drive the car so far without getting into an accident. This kid wasn't lucky to avoid being scolded by his mom. She caught him in the act right at the supermarket.
And what the hell was you gonna do with this?
I was going.
And gave him an earful for his unacceptable behavior.
Stealing.
No.
Stealing.
Even his Spider-Man shoes couldn't save him. Turns out they don't give you any superpowers.
Because you don't do this. Do you understand me? When you get home, I'm gonna tell your
At first, the boy denied everything, but it was hard to believe his words. Eventually, he admitted that he wanted to sell what he stole to his peers to earn some cash.
The money. I want some money.
Where's my money?
Of course, that only made his mother madder. Look at this video. It might seem like simple dash cam footage at first glance, and the car driving in front doesn't seem suspicious at first, but not until a 7-year-old boy runs out of it, of course. The funniest thing is, the footage came from a police car that was following the car in front of it because it had broken several traffic rules. Just imagine the officer's face when he saw the tiny driver jumping out from the driver's seat. Turns out the boy stole his dad's car because he didn't want to go to church with his family on Sunday. We can only wonder how he was punished at home. His family should take notice of his driving skills. Who knows, he could be the next Schumacher. And finally, a cautionary tale with a not-so-happy ending. These teens were just wandering around a supermarket with a couple of energy drinks stuffed in their pockets when a local policeman took interest in them. At first, the young men were holding up pretty well and insisted that they were never going to steal anything. But as soon as they walked out of the shop to continue the talk with the police officer, one of them burst out crying.
I don't want to be a
You don't want to go to jail, right? Here's what's gonna happen.
Unable to handle the stress, it turned out the boys weren't just shoplifting from time to time, but had another illegal hobby, throwing stones at window shops. But But they kept denying everything even after the police officer explained that he had video proof. So he had no choice but to arrest one of the boys after his friend shamelessly ratted him out. Now the young troublemaker will learn not one, but 2 life lessons, and will probably be smarter about choosing friends.